Welcome to the NBAV podcast. Welcome back to NBAV, the NBA Avenue podcast, where today we're going to continue with our NBA Summer League series where we are talking about the Chicago Bulls, a team that in Summer League really mirrored their regular season team, which is that they were very unspectacular. They were a team that you can't say they're the worst. I mean, I guess they're close to it, but they're sort of on the bubble trying to fight in to get into the play-in tournament, exactly where they are during every single regular season so far. So, since the play-in tournament was a thing. And that's sort of exactly where this team was. They had some guys who are okay. Maybe they could show a little something, a la what Kobe White showed this past year, a little something to get you excited. That's sort of what happened this year with DJ Stewart and the Chicago Bulls. Now, they play absolutely no defense, so it's hard for them to win games. They won 1 or 2 games. They played a really weak schedule. They played Detroit's team. They played Milwaukee's team, 2 horrible Summer League teams. And then they got blown out when they faced anyone decent. Let's go through all the players on their team. They have a much more shallow team, so there's less players to talk about and a very small cast of characters here. But let's go through it quickly. We have Chase Outidge. He is a 25-year-old rookie who did not get too much playing time. You have Garrison Brooks. Don't recall him getting much playing time. Then you have their first-round draft pick, Matas Buzelis, the 19-year-old from G League Ignite. He is a guy who plays a very free-spirited game of basketball. He's what I would describe as a poor man's Franz Wagner. And in the future, every team, this is my opinion here, every team is going to have a player who plays sort of like Franz Wagner. Why? Because as time goes on and the players who get into the NBA are younger and younger, you start to see skinnier and skinnier guys who haven't filled out yet in the NBA. Not to mention that with the three-point era, the centers look a lot less like Shaq, and they look a lot more similar to, the guy on the Oklahoma City Thunder, Chet Holmgren. You see a lot more guys like that, a lot more guys who resemble, Pokashevsky, and Matas Buzelis more than they do Shaquille O'Neal, a la 20 years ago. They don't all look like, David Robinson out there. And we're going to see that more and more and more. Plus, we're seeing more and more players from Europe who have this sort of build, the Franz Wagner, Matas Buzelis kind of build. And we see more and more players who are super tall and skinny who like to play inside and out, like Kevin Durant, and who are pretty acrobatic as well. And that's what Buzelis brings to the table. The good part is, although he at times looks really bad, he's able to miss a shot, airball it, get the ball back, and go in for a dunk. He's not deterred by making a bad decision or missing a shot. He'll airball a shot, get the ball back, and swish the next one, relocate and hit the next one. It's very hard to tell what he's ultimately going to be, but he's a something. He plays the game with flair. He has a little bit of showmanship to his game, so he's something. I don't know exactly what he's going to be, but he is something. Then you have Henry Drell, not a guy that I think is possible to have any level of success because he can only go left. So it's not a great characteristic to have. You want to have a good left hand, but you want to also be able to go right, and he cannot go right. You have Andrew Funk. He had a couple of shots, but nothing to talk about. Nathan Knight, maybe a basket or 2 in the whole summer league. He's a 4-year NBA, it's been 4 years since he's been undrafted. Then you have Julian Phillips, a guy who's sort of raw, has some bounciness, can hit the 3. He's got a little bit of a shot, but he didn't show enough in Summer League to really make a team go crazy and get infatuated with him. Then you have Adama Sanogo. He looked pretty good. He is a fundamental big man more than he is anything flashy. It's hard to tell if he has a ton of talent, but if he can play within a system, if he can just be in the right system and just they tell him what to do and he does it, he's a guy who's capable of listening and playing that way. So I wouldn't say that there's no chance that Sanogo could really make it in the NBA, but I would just say that he's sort of on the outside looking in because he doesn't have a skill set that really blows anyone away. Then you have Darian Sebron. This guy is a wild man out there. He likes to shoot. He likes to try to drive and be fancy with the dribble and get in there and make some good, tough plays at the basket, some smooth finishes. he just didn't have too much time to shine. Really, everything was dominated by a couple of the guys who we're going to name now. You have Javonte Smart. He got some playing time. Nothing too much to compliment him on. And then you have DJ Stewart, who really dominated the ball. It was Stewart and Buzelis, and a little bit of sprinkle in Drell and sprinkle in Phillips and Sanogo, and that was basically 98% of what happened during the Chicago Bulls Summer League. So yeah, DJ Stewart, what's fascinating about him is how much he resembles Kobe White out there as a rookie. So they both have the long dreadlocks. If he would make his hair look similar to Kobe White's on the night, he could just pretend to be Kobe White. I mean, they play a similar style of basketball. I'd say Kobe White, at this point, a little stronger, a little faster going towards the basket, but they both like the mid-range game. And then suddenly, Kobe White, the same way he started bombing away threes after a couple of years in the league, DJ Stewart, a couple of games into the Summer League, started bombing away threes, and he had an 8 3-pointer game. So a very similar style of play. These guys can really complement each other. But is DJ Stewart really going to get the time, considering you have Kobe White, and then the Chicago Bulls just brought in the guy from Oklahoma City, the guy who had the scandal, the 18-year-old, and now he's Josh Giddey. So Josh Giddey's there now, and he's going to be taking up time hogging the ball, and you have, I shouldn't say hogging the ball, but what I mean is he's getting the playing time at a point guard or a two-guard position, a guy who is a pass-first guy. And then with Kobe White there, how much is DJ Stewart going to get? They have the Zach LaVine issue over there. How much time is DJ Stewart really going to get? I think he's a guy who, if he plays in the G League, he'll play really well. And the question is, can he make it all the way to an NBA team? I think he's there. He's on the bubble. He's looking in. And then you have Tyler Thomas, a guy who, 24-year-old, undrafted player, didn't really get any run. So out of all of these guys, I wouldn't really say there's anybody who really blows your socks off on the Chicago Bulls. And it's unfortunate because you would love to see a team who's sort of middling in the NBA. They're just in the middle. They're not too high, not too low. You'd like to see an influx of talent, but they just don't have too much of that. The guy who you could say maybe has the most ability of making it, it's going to be between two guys. It's going to be between DJ Stewart and it's going to be between Matas Buzelis. That's really, I guess you could say maybe Sanogo. Maybe Sanogo's got a shot. Maybe Phillips down the line has a shot. I don't know. He's going to need a team to really take a shot on him. I would just say maybe just the three guys, DJ Stewart, Matas Buzelis, and Sanogo, just because the big man is always needed. You always need the big man. So if Sanogo can get onto a backup roster and has good hands and can just do the basics, he can make it. There's a chance he can make it. But are any of these guys a top player? No. None of these guys are top guys who are going to be making it into our top tier list. This is going to be one of our shorter episodes because these three guys dominated the touches. It was DJ Stewart. It was Buzelis looking really good at times, really bad at times, not playing good defense, occasionally having a block, but for the most part, they were a sieve. Anyone who wanted to get to the basket got to the basket. They got blown out in a couple of games. DJ Stewart dominated the ball on offense. Buzelis was the other guy who dominated the ball. And Sanogo, anytime the ball went inside, it was him. These are the three guys. None of them are going to crack our top list. Right now we have 11 guys at the top of the G League, not the G League, but the Summer League rankings. We have at number 1, Khalil Ware, 2, Jet Howard, 3, Tristan Da Silva, 4, Josh Christopher. Then we have Tyler Kolek, Cole Swider from Miami, Jaden Springer, Keita from the Celtics, Johnny Furphy, you have Jacobitis from the Knicks, and then you have Alondas Williams, the flashy guy from the Miami Heat, and that's really going to be it. Those are your top 11. Nobody from the Bulls cracked it. The Bulls don't have a very good outlook in the future. I would not be thrilled if I was a Bulls fan right now. You're going to try to hope that they figure out the Zach LaVine situation. They just lost DeMar DeRozan, so they're not getting any better, and they don't have too much coming in outside of seeing what happens with Josh Giddey and seeing how much better Kobe White gets. That's really going to be it. They lost Alex Caruso going over to Oklahoma City in that deal for Josh Giddey. So not too much to look forward to. The Bulls are going to be the Bulls for yet another year. And as always, we're your source for a great time every time. And until next time, we are out.